and welcome to another round of Sports Views. Tonight I'm recapping the Play-In Round and Semifinals of the 2020 Scotiabank CONCACAF League. I know we're in 2021, but they started it in 2020. They still call it the 2020 Scotiabank CONCACAF League. Just to get that out of the way, I will not preview and predict the final until February 1st, 2 days before the final. So you're just getting me recapping this past round and telling you what I did on my predictions. And then so on and so forth. So starting on with a play-in round, that was the second week in December. I know, longer than a month ago. Crazy. So let's remind you, Marathon beats Forge FC 1-0 to move on to the 2021 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League, starting in April, draw in February 10th, by the way, the day before the Club World Cup final. I will cover that with a live stream and a reaction video, a live stream and a RSR, so you will see that, because why not? So I could talk more in depth and then, try to condense that into a video. But back to the point. Marathon scores 1 goal. That's all they would need against Forge. Forge did not come to play in that game. They just did not look good. They got flustered. They got scared. They got just overpowered, really. And it was only 1 goal. But you could tell that they came in hoping they could get this right. And then as time went on, Forge got flustered by Marathon's tactics, and it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be, and it's sad to see how it went down. But hey, for Forge, it wasn't great performance. David Edgar did not have a great performance in his last game as a center back, as a professional footballer, because he was retiring after this game, no matter what, had they won or not. Crutzen was okay. Kyle Becker gets sent off, of course. Straight red. Bobby Smirniotis as well. Sent off, straight red. Everything went wrong for Forge in that game. And honestly, it was sad to see. But for their sake, they do still have a third chance at the Champions League against Toronto in the Canadian Championships final. Sometime in March. Probably before. It's actually during the international break. Yeah. Crazily enough. But I think Toronto would still have some of their younger Canadian players to play with. But that's not the point. But I got that match wrong. I'm 0-1 on my predictions for these 4 games, the 2 rounds, play-in and semifinals. Next match, Matagua 2, Real Esteli 2. Real Esteli wins on penalties 4-2. Yes, this is the game where everything went haywire at the end. Matagua goes to an early 2-0 lead. Real Esteli starts to claw back in the second half. They get their first goal. Then the backup goalkeeper from Matagua, right at the end of the game, has the ball, gets dispossessed, gives up a bad howler. Real Esteli ties it up, and then his confidence is shot. By the way, backup, not Rougier, it was their backup. He loses his confidence, gets beat in the shootout. Real Esteli moves on to the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League from the play-in. And I got this match wrong too, but what an ending. I think I reacted to that ending of regular time so amazingly. I had a live stream for it, so go check it out. It's still on the channel. That was a good video, but yeah, that crazy ending. I mean, I'm still shocked. I don't know how you let that happen. Besides, you're trying to qualify for the Champions League. I think Matagua, pulled their foot off the gas. It's like, 2's enough. They don't look that great. We can handle this. They were wrong. And honestly, if the howler didn't happen, they would have been right. But hey, when you fall to your own hubris, let me put it like that, to the point, that was stupid. How do you let up a howler like that? That was horrible. And why do you play your backup in a game where it's all or nothing? Champions League or bust. Why would you do that? Are you deluded? Are you stupid? Are you wrong? Are you dumb? Do you have a brain? It's kind of like the Olympia game. Do you have a brain? I don't know where the 3 of Swords is in my tarot deck. I'm not making the joke again. But yeah, I got that game wrong too. 0-2 for the play-in and so far in the play-in / semifinals. Then the third match, Alajuelense 0, Olympia 0. 5-4 for Alajuelense on penalties. I talked about this one. I did a live stream for this one. Olympia just didn't care. They didn't play to score in the first half, and when they tried to put pressure on in the second, the defense actually shut them down, and they lost on penalties deservingly. Honestly, Olympia got what they deserved. They played horribly. They did stupid things. They weren't great. They got what they deserved. Alajuelense goes to the final deservingly. I got that match wrong too. 0-3, but I got one match right. And that was Saprissa 5, Arcai 0. Saprissa goes to the final. Saprissa just does a dismantling of Arcai. Arcai got dismantled. 15 minutes in, which is great for them to stay scoreless for that long. But they got dismantled after that. Like, it was sad, honestly. Because Arcai was trying their best. They were. They were just out of place defending-wise and all that. Like, seriously, it was sad to watch. Like, it hurt. They weren't great, per se, but they fought. And they tried. And that's the only thing that matters is when you try. And they were in the Champions League anyway. So they had really nothing to lose. It may have been house money. That's why they tried so hard. Because they tried to be forward. They didn't just try to sit back. If they sat back, things could have been different. But they tried to go forward as well. And that probably hurt them. Saprissa took what they needed. Venegas isn't there anymore. He's their best striker. And he was the only reason they scored a lot of goals before this game. And yes, Saprissa scored 5-0. Great, you're right. But with him out, playing a team like Alajuelense, which is their country rival, their league rival, even though Venegas is cup tied, but he did go to Alajuelense. That's probably more of a Champions League signing, which I'm sure he got a lot of flack for, not going to lie. I mean, it's like if Pozuelo went to Montreal. I would hate him, huh? Never would happen. God forbid that doesn't happen. Knock on wood, that doesn't. But you get my point. That's like if Pozuelo went to Montreal. That's like if in the NFL, Tom Brady had went to the New York Jets after he left the Patriots. Okay, maybe I'd still love Brady, though. I don't know. Okay. But I was always a Brady guy. There's a difference there. Toronto till I die, but I was always a Tom Brady guy. So yeah, but you get my point. There may be a difference there, but whatever. Even though I talk about Pozuelo in the same echelon as Tom Brady, but I don't think Pozuelo would ever do that. I'm just saying, that's a. But back to the point. Alajuelense is probably the better team overall when they face each other. With no Venegas on either side, you got to say that it probably could be Alajuelense. I mean, we'll see, but okay, that may have been a little bit of a prediction. But the way I'm thinking, their defense is definitely better than Arcai's. So, yeah. So, with that, I'm 1-3 on my play-in semifinal round predictions. That was horrible, but hey, sometimes you have a bad time. So there you go. So with that, the 6 teams in the CONCACAF Champions League from the CONCACAF League are as follows. Saprissa, Alajuelense, Olimpia, Arcai, Marathon, and Real Esteli. They will be joining the second pot with Atletico Pantoja from the Dominican Republic and Leon from Mexico, because they're still in the second pot. That's the spot they got. So there you go. I would say any MLS team could handle any of those besides Leon. If Toronto got Leon, I really wouldn't be worried either, but that would be a good first round tie. But I hope they get like a Arcai or Esteli, honestly. We'll see though. That's February 10th. But they're not in it yet. They haven't beat Forge yet. They should. But we'll see. But with that, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. Tomorrow I will be talking about the Toronto FC draft class from the 2021 Super Draft, because we're one of the only teams that take it seriously, so why not talk about our draft class? I think it's a pretty good one, but we'll talk about them more in depth. The Fortune 4. You love to see it. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace.